Rest Stop is a family-friendly board game for ages 7 and up. In Rest Stop, you're on a race across the country. You need to acquire food and gas for the trip, but also need to get enough rest. You can press your luck and travel without rest, but you may end up crashing. If you get ahead of others, watch out for the police. They may pull you over for speeding. Who will be the first to finish? Rest Stop has a good mix of light strategy and luck with fast turn sequences so no one gets bored. Let's go see how to play. Shuffle the 12 road tiles and place them randomly side by side in a row, making one long road. For shorter games, remove up to 3 road tiles. Next, place resource cards around the road tiles. Rest Stop, increase car's gas capacity, the starting player resource card, a gas fuel-up card, and 1 food card are used in every game. For a 2-player game, 5 cards are used. For each additional player, simply add 1 extra resource card and 1 car. You can have a total of 5 players. Place the different resource tokens in separate piles at one end of the board. Bars corresponding to the total number of players are placed on one side of the road tiles. Roll the die to see who goes first. Highest die receives a starting player token. You are ready to play. On a player's turn, they pick 1 resource card, place the card in front of them, and collect the number of resource tokens associated with that card. Other players cannot choose that resource card as it is locked by that player until the end of the round. Play proceeds clockwise until all players have taken a resource card. The round ends with choose 1 bonus tokens being placed on any resource card that was not chosen that round. In this way, the resource cards not chosen become more valuable in the next round. All players return the resource cards to the area around the game board. After a couple of rounds, players will have enough resources to move their cars. In order to move a car 1 road tile space, a player simply must have 1 rest token, 1 food token, and 1 gas token. If you are the first player to land on a road tile, that tile is flipped over. If the starting player resource card was taken, a new player receives a starting player token at the end of the round and starts the next round by choosing a resource card. During the game, if a police car is revealed, that player is caught speeding. Their car is placed off to the side of the game board, signifying a loss of turn. On the player's next turn, they will place their car back on the game board, but do not get to draw a resource card. Other players who land on the police car tile do not receive a penalty, only the first player who reveals a police tile. Players may also move multiple spaces. If advancing more than 1 space, a player only flips over the ending road tile they land on. An important factor in the game is the resource token limits. A player reaches his maximum rest level at 2 rest tokens. A player can never have more than 2 rest tokens at any time. Gas tokens are limited to 1 per player unless they have gas cans. Gas cans boost a player's capacity to carry gas tokens by 1 for each gas can a player collects over the course of the game. Food tokens have no limit. Now let's look at each resource card and what it does. The +2 food gives a player 2 food tokens. The +1 food gives a player 1 food token from the supply. The Rest Stop gives a player 2 rest tokens and eliminates all Burnout tokens. A nap card gives a player 1 rest token or eliminates 1 Burnout token. The Increased Car's Gas Capacity card gives a player 1 gas can. The Gas Fuel Up gives a player a number of gas tokens equal to their gas capacity. Remember, for each gas can a player collects, increases the amount of gas tokens a player can carry. The Starting Player card gives a player the Starting Player token at the end of the round. An exciting part of the game is deciding whether or not to use Burnout tokens to help advance your car. Anytime you move your car, you can elect to substitute burnout tokens for any rest tokens needed to travel. You can press your luck and travel without rest, but you may end up crashing. For example, a player wants to move their car 2 spaces. They have 2 food and 2 gas tokens, but have only 1 rest token. They choose to use 1 burnout token to replace the missing rest token. Before moving, the player must roll a die to see if a crash occurs. In this case, a crash occurs if the number 1 is rolled because they have 1 burnout token. They are safe if any other number is rolled and will advance their car 2 spaces, pay the required resources, and keep 1 burnout token. Another example is a player wants to move 3 spaces. They have 3 food and 3 gas tokens, but no rest tokens. The player chooses to take 3 burnout tokens. Now a crash occurs if a 1, 2, or 3 is rolled. They are safe if a 4, 5, or 6 is rolled. They advance 3 spaces and keep the 3 burnout tokens. The more burnout tokens a player has, increases the odds of a crash. If a player rolls a number equal to or less than the number of burnout tokens the player has, the player crashes. Their car is moved off to the side of the game board, and the player forfeits 1 gas and 1 food, in addition to losing their ability to choose a resource card next turn. The first player who has successfully moved their car over and through each road tile and is the first player to move their car off the board is the winner. Play is immediately stopped. There are no ties. Rest Stop is available for purchase on Amazon.com and thegamecrafter.com.